A kidnapping is the ultimate fear. For a parent, it is a waking nightmare. For a prince who is the future king of England, it is a national security catastrophe. And last night, that catastrophe was revealed to be a lie, a deliberate, calculated, and monstrous fraud orchestrated from within. Tonight, we can confirm that Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, acting in his capacity as Counselor of State and with the full backing of the U.S. Department of Justice, has executed an emergency protective custody order, seizing physical and legal guardianship of his nephew and niece, Archie and Lilibet Mountbatten Windsor. They are now in an undisclosed, secure location on the east coast of the United States under 24-hour Secret Service protection. They were not taken from a kidnapper. They were taken from their mother. Because the kidnapping plot that sent shockwaves through two nations, the frantic 911 calls, the burned-out rental car found in the Mojave, the anonymous ransom demand sent to the British press has been proven by the United States Secret Service's Forensic Investigations Division to be a hoax. A stage-managed terror event designed and directed by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. The unraveling began with a single, overlooked metadata signature. In the hours after the children were reported taken from a Santa Barbara park 2 weeks ago, the Secret Service, brought in due to the royal connection and potential terrorist implications, conducted a standard geofence analysis of all mobile devices in the area. One device pinged repeatedly in a 5-block radius around the park in the 48 hours before the incident. It wasn't a scout for a kidnapper. The device was registered to Sussex, and its location data placed it at a local prop house and a theatrical supply warehouse known for renting stage blood, broken glass, and distressed clothing. This triggered a full-spectrum forensic audit. The evidence, presented in a sealed affidavit to a federal judge, is damning. The 911 call, voice stress analysis, and acoustic modeling of the distraught nanny's emergency call revealed it was pre-recorded. The background park sounds were a digital loop. The voice, while expertly modulated, shared a 95% phonetic match with Meghan's vocal patterns when under extreme stress. The ransom car, the burned-out vehicle found in the desert, was purchased for cash under a false name 3 days prior by a figure matching Meghan's personal assistant. Forensic chemists determined the fire was started with theatrical flash paper and smoke pellets, not gasoline. The blood on the backseat was stage blood, type O positive, the same type listed in Meghan's medical records from her first pregnancy. The digital trail, encrypted messages, recovered from a cloud server paid for by Arcalel, show communications between Meghan and a disgraced former Hollywood special effects coordinator. The messages discuss realism, emotional triggers for the media, and child-safe panic protocols. A payment of $250,000 was traced from an Arcalel sub-account to the coordinator's offshore. Think, the motive? According to the Secret Service's Behavioral Analysis Unit, was narcissistic coercion and brand salvage. With their popularity cratering, deals collapsing, and the world seeing them as grifters, Meghan needed a cataclysmic reset. She needed to transform the family from greedy ex-royals back into the global victims that originally made them sympathetic. What greater victimhood than a mother whose children are stolen? What greater hero than Harry, fighting to get them back? The planned narrative, the agents believe, was for a miraculous recovery of the children after a global media frenzy, making Meghan and Harry the world's most famous, sympathetic parents and erasing all previous scandals. The plot disintegrated because of the one thing Meghan fatally underestimated: the ruthlessness of Prince William. While Harry was publicly begging for his children's lives, William privately contacted his most powerful ally, the President of the United States. He bypassed the FBI, bypassed the State Department. He went straight to the Oval Office and shared his suspicions, born of a lifetime of watching his brother's life be stage-managed. The President authorized the Secret Service's ultra-discreet Monarch Shield Task Force to investigate. For 96 hours, while the world mourned and Harry gave tearful press conferences, William knew. He knew the children were likely safe in a hidden location, part of the performance. He let the plot play out, allowing the Secret Service to gather irrefutable, prosecutable evidence. He waited for the moment the kidnappers would make their ransom call. That call never came because the kidnappers didn't exist. The final proof came from a Secret Service drone, surveilling the Montecito property perimeter. It captured thermal imaging of 2 small heat signatures, consistent with children, moving between the main house and a heavily insulated garden outbuilding every night at 1 a.m. The children were never taken. They were hidden in their own backyard while their mother wept for the cameras. William's seizure order was not an act of family cruelty. It was a state-sanctioned rescue from a mother who used her own children as props in a deranged theatrical production. The Secret Service proof did not just expose a hoax. It exposed a mind capable of weaponizing a parent's deepest terror for a headline. And for Prince William, the future king, that made Meghan Markle the most dangerous threat of all. For Harry, the revelation was not delivered in a briefing room. It was a psychological ambush. He was summoned to a secure federal facility in Ventura, California. In a sterile room, a stone-faced Secret Service agent played him 2 pieces of audio. The first, the 911 call of his children's nanny screaming. The second, a voice print analysis, isolating and comparing the scream to a known sample of Meghan's voice from a 2021 podcast. The digital lines converged, matched, and flashed red, positive identification. A flat, computerized voice stated. He was then shown the thermal drone footage. The time-stamped images of his children's heat signatures moving like ghosts from their bedroom to the garden shed, night after night, while he gave interviews pleading for their safe return. While he couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, felt his soul being torn in two. A source present described the moment. It was as if the bones left his body. He didn't cry, he didn't shout, he just folded. The man who was there when the video ended was not the same man who walked in. His grief had been real. His terror had been real. And they had been fuel for his wife's script. The legal machinery, supercharged by Prince William's transatlantic authority, is now moving with a velocity that leaves scorched earth. In the United States, the Los Angeles District Attorney, armed with the Secret Service dossier, has filed a slew of charges. Criminal conspiracy, filing a false police report, child endangerment, and fraudulent use of emergency services. Meghan was arrested at the Montecito property. She did not go quietly. She reportedly screamed about parental rights and William's vendetta. She is now in county jail, denied bail on grounds of being an extreme flight risk and a demonstrable danger to the welfare of her children. Her mugshot pale, furious, stripped of all glamour, has been obtained by every media outlet on the planet. In the United Kingdom, Parliament has reacted with nuclear fury. An emergency furture of titles and privileges bill targeting Meghan has passed its first reading unanimously. It seeks not just to strip her Duchess title, but to legally annul her marriage to Prince Harry under an archaic clause regarding marital fraud and coercion endangering the bloodline. The goal is to make her, in the eyes of British law, a person who never was. But the center of this hurricane is Harry, and the choice he is being forced to make is more brutal than any court could devise. The California Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, in partnership with the Secret Service, has initiated an emergency dependency proceeding. They have named Prince William as the sole suitable guardian for Archie and Lilibet. The judge has already granted him temporary emergency custody. The children are with him now. Harry's parental rights are not just challenged, they are suspended. To have any chance of regaining them, he must do 2 things, per the court's preliminary finding: fully and publicly cooperate with the criminal prosecution of Meghan, providing testimony about her mental state, her planning, and any prior knowledge he may have had, sever all legal and residential ties with Meghan immediately, and petition for sole custody himself, a move that would pit him directly against his brother in a custody battle he cannot possibly win. It is a catch-22 of paternal love. To fight for his children, he must destroy their mother. To show loyalty to the mother, he loses his children forever. William's actions are not those of a brother. They are the actions of a sovereign in waiting, neutralizing a dynastic threat. By seizing the children, he has done more than protect them. He has secured the Windsor line. Archie and Lilibet are now under the direct control of the future king. They will be raised with their Cambridge cousins, their Sussex past quietly erased, their identities reshaped within the firmament of the institution. William has not just saved nephews, he has annexed a renegade branch of the family tree. For Meghan, in her cell, the reality is dawning. The global sympathy she sought to manufacture has curdled into global revulsion. Faking a crime is one thing. Faking the kidnapping of your own children, putting them through nocturnal hide-and-seek terrors, and forcing your husband to live through hell for a PR reboot is seen as a uniquely profound form of evil. Her legal team is in shambles. Her defense that it was a security drill gone wrong or a misunderstood method to expose flaws in royal protection collapses against the receipts for stage blood and the encrypted messages about audience tears. Harry is now a ghost in the wreckage of his own life. His home is a crime scene, his wife is in jail, his children are across the country with the brother he no longer knows how to speak to. Every memory of the past 2 weeks, the nausea, the prayers, the desperate hope has been retroactively poisoned. He is grieving children who are alive for a marriage that was a lie, and for a self that was merely a character in his wife's most monstrous production. The Secret Service proof exposed a fake kidnap plot, but its real function was to reveal the true hostage, Harry's own judgment, his trust, his very reality. And the ransom demanded for its return is a price he may never be able to pay. The courtroom drama was a formality. The evidence was unassailable. The world had already rendered its verdict. Meghan Markle accepted a plea deal to avoid a trial that would have played the 911 call and the audience tears messages on a global loop. She pleaded no contest to felony child endangerment and filing a false report. The sentence? 3 years in a state psychiatric correctional facility deemed a treatment-oriented environment by the court, followed by 10 years of supervised probation. She is legally forbidden from being within 500 yards of her children until they turn 18. Her parental rights were terminated. The judge's final remark: the stage is now closed. The Forfeiture of Titles Act passed in the UK. The Duchess of Sussex is a void title. King Charles III, in a final sorrowful act, issued a letters patent of banishment, formally excluding her from the royal family in perpetuity. She is a non-person in the land whose name she once held. For Harry, there was no victory, only a devastating settlement. To avoid his own prosecution for potential negligence and to spare the children a lifelong legal war, he agreed to the permanent custody arrangement. Prince William was granted full, permanent, and exclusive legal guardianship of Archie and Lilibet Mountbatten-Windsor. Their surnames were quietly changed to Cambridge by royal decree. The children now live at Anmer Hall, the Cambridge family's Norfolk home. They are being raised alongside George, Charlotte, and Louis. Their past is not discussed. They call William Uncle Father. Catherine is their Aunt Mother. They are safe, loved, and being gently folded into the only stable royal future that remains, the line of direct succession. Harry is granted supervised visitation 4 times a year at a neutral, secure location. The meetings are described as polite and painfully quiet. Harry could not stay in America. The memories were ghosts in every room. He could not return to Britain, a living reminder of the scandal. A private arrangement was made. He resides now on a private atoll in the South Pacific, owned by a conservation trust friendly to the Crown. He lives alone in a solar-powered bungalow. His security is a monthly supply drop and a satellite panic button. He has chosen an exile of profound intangible silence as if to counter the deafening false noise of the plot. Prince William seized the children to save them. In doing so, he achieved what 1,000 years of monarchy strived for: absolute consolidation. A renegade branch has been pruned, its legacy absorbed into the main line. The future king has 3 children of his body and now 2 of his name. The succession has never been more secure. The Secret Service proof revealed a fake plot, but the real revelation was this: the greatest threat to the monarchy was not a kidnapper's van, but a mother's narcissism. And the surest defense was not a palace guard, but a future king's ruthless, loving heart, willing to seize what needed saving, even if it meant breaking his own brother to do it. In the end, the only thing truly kidnapped was the truth, and it was recovered not by police, but by a